I can't believe HRUSH just did my makeup. All jokes aside, this is episode 1 of Do My Makeup Like a Makeup Artist. In this series, I wanted to really showcase my talents and showcase the people who have inspired me the most over the years. So I have spent hours and hours, let alone being a self-taught artist. I used to watch hours and hours and hours of YouTube, following every single person on Instagram, just learning and soaking up everything I could. Speaking it into existence, I will be a celebrity makeup artist. What better way to showcase the makeup artist that I really am inspired by the most? My vision is to really capture the styles of these specific makeup artists and make it look like as if they did my makeup. So my first makeup artist will be HRUSH. I've been following her for so long. So if you want to know how I got this look, keep on watching. I know the videos are going to be long, but these are for the makeup lovers like me who enjoy long-form content. So this is episode 1 of Do My Makeup Like a Makeup Artist. First things first, she is really into shaping the face. We are going to carve out the brows. She likes to use the Anastasia brow powder. We are going to shape the tail end with the brow powder, go in with a different product in the front so we can really get that flawless HRUSH look. Brow powders are definitely a staple in the industry just because they do look so natural and undetectable. Now we're going to go in with the brow microfilling pen. Hair-like strokes. I have always wondered what it would look like if these makeup artists did my makeup, so we're about to find out. I feel like this is the better side where you can really see that they'll be like hair-like strokes. So the carving is the real main takeaway from a HRUSH look. We are really going to carve out and shape these brows. Pretty much everything is going to go on the back of the hand, and we are taking the NARS Soft Matte Concealer. And she did mention that these are a staple for her. So although we might not have every single product she uses, I really tried to make sure everything was as accurate as possible. I started following HRUSH in 2015, pretty much when I started my makeup Instagram. So she has definitely been such a huge inspiration. So I felt that it was just right to start off the series with her. Really try to get that Armenian princess beat that she does so well. I went ahead and did some brow gel and really cleaned everything up, and this is what it's looking like. I'm going to do the other one to save some time. So next we're going to take a cream bronzer on your paint and map out the face. One thing that HRUSH does is she uses so many creams. Her and I have that in common. I have been, of course, following her for years and just in the beauty space since like 2014. One thing HRUSH also does is she does the famous three. So you'll go 1, 2, and 3. And we're also going to take that onto the eyes. There's a couple ways of doing an eye look. I like this one the best. We take the bronzer and the blush and the creams onto the eyelid. The skin was already prepped. She is very adamant about prepping the skin once again onto the lid, and this is really going to make sure everything has harmony and balance. One thing I feel like she really focuses on, as well as like bringing it down the neck onto the ear a little bit to really make sure everything looks flawless. As a celebrity makeup artist, she is working on a lot of clients on the red carpet, so that's important for them to be pretty much head to toe in makeup. So like I said, we're going to put the creams on the back of our hand. You're going to take your brush, really blend that out, warm it up with your skin. She'll even take it kind of like here to really diffuse that out as well. She will kind of drag that contour down to give almost like a model-esque type of feature. You can literally see the difference in the cheekbone structure and into the hollows, and once again like onto the eye. This is another great place to kind of do that 3. So here, and up into the temple and the push back into the hairline. We're also going to take that down the sides of the neck. She is pretty much contouring the entire body. So are we. If you've been living under a rock, you would know this is probably one of her newest like techniques. I feel like that has kind of gone viral as well. We contoured the lips, and I'm going to blend it out with a sponge. I just felt kind of safest doing it this way versus with the brush. Our next step is going to be to add the concealer. So we're just going to go in with a little bronzer left for the nose, and she will just put it down the entire nose. She mentioned her top 3 favorite concealers are Hourglass, NARS Creamy Radiant. She loved the pot as well. I have NARS Creamy Radiant. This is really where you see all of her magic kind of come to life. We are going to take the concealer all the way down the nose, which I usually don't do. And then I'm going to go back in with the pot for the rest of the areas. It's a little bit more of like my skin color. That way we can be really precise with where we're laying it down when we use a brush. After you've laid it down, you can kind of blend the edges into that concealer and bronzer. If you want a more prominent chin, you're going to highlight the chin. And then now that we let that sit for a little bit, we're going to blend out that concealer using a brush, of course, so we can really melt those edges and get up to the nose. She is like the contour queen. This is where you're gonna start being like really precise. Since we took that bronzer all over the nose. Although I took those colors up onto the eyelid, I still want to highlight this area. Same thing on the other side, and we're going up into the eye a little bit, pulling down to match the other side, and then sweeping out. I'm gonna clean up the lip area a little bit. Just extending that under the lip. And really blending that out. You can see like it's already shaping the lips. Now that I have everything placed where I would like it, she also will use a beauty blender just to kind of melt everything together, really make it seamless before she goes in with any next steps. So you can see that we are not really moving anything around, really blending those edges out so that when we put the foundation on top, it is seamless. When you let your concealer dry a little bit, it really changes the formula of it, still giving that brightening effect. After you blend it out, you're gonna wanna kind of manipulate that bronzer placement again. I don't have RCMA foundation, but I do have the Monica Blender Cover All-in-One Concealer Foundation. Once again, we're gonna pick some up and put that on the back of our hand. I also don't have the La Mer moisturizer, but I do have the next best thing, the Prada Augmented Skin Moisturizer. So what she is doing is thinning out her foundation with the moisturizer. We are gonna take those and mix that together. This is supposed to give us a nice thin layer of foundation. Once you've already laid on this many products, you really don't need anything crazy on top of your skin anyways. This is really just gonna melt everything together and give that final glow. Once again, make sure you're pulling that down the neck. You see how we're not really covering up anything that was already there. We're just kind of adding a light veil and onto the ears. Next, we are going to set the face before we bake, and we are gonna take the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Setting Powder, lightly dust that jaw area, and then working our way up. So this is just gonna flawlessly set everything before we go in and bake. And now we're gonna take that same Easy Bake setting powder, press that into the back of the hand to even it out. So this is where we're really gonna see that nose contour pop. Swipe down the nose. Not gonna lie, it is definitely hard trying to mimic someone's style. HRUSH has this thing called the HRUSH Flush. So first we need to start out with our bronzer. But once again, we are gonna sweep that over the eyelid. This is where the HRUSH Flush really comes into play. So we are gonna take a peach blush. We're going to go about here. You wanna overlap that and kind of bring it back and up. Once again, you want to bring that onto the eyelids, on top and overlapping that bronzer and onto the eyelids. And now for a pop, we are going to go into this pink. So this is the final step of the HRUSH Flush. So we're going to take that and go up and kind of a little bit underneath the eyes, but not too much. Really pull that onto the eyelid and bring everything together. She calls this the HRUSH Flush because she said that that is the way that the cheeks naturally flush, is kind of peachy in the middle and then pink higher up because of where the blood vessels lay. I'm gonna dust off this base. For the eyes, we're gonna go into this lighter neutral transition shade. She does lots of wings. She keeps it very neutral and smoky and seductive. Because we already laid down all those other colors, these are just gonna blend really easily. I just want to give a little definition. The lashes and the wing are gonna be like the main course. I'm gonna go into Cocoa. We're gonna define the outer eye and kind of flick up. Like I said, we're gonna do like a wing variation. Now she usually uses tape for the wing, but I really wanted to get the skin down. We are going to make this work. I want to lay down one more color before I go in with any type of liners or anything. What I'm more worried about is this blend up here. We really want it like nice and smoked out. I'm just going back in with Cocoa to really blend that out and deepen that outer corner. We're taking my Inglot liner and putting that into the lash line so that when we put our lashes on, they look nice and uniform. We're going to bring that up into the lashes and the lash line as well and kind of smudge that out. Now, any good makeup artist knows that the makeup still needs to flatter your client, and it doesn't just need to be copy and paste onto each person, so I am still doing it how it would flatter my facial features. This liner isn't moving at all, but I'm just going to go over one more time with that shadow to kind of blend out any edges, just make it look seamless. Also going to bring some of that liner down onto the bottom waterline to connect it. Just whatever is left on that concealer brush, we're going to clean this up so it is nice and sharp, but you're not adding like fresh concealer so it doesn't look crazy. I'm just bringing that same shadow on the lower line to smoke it out a little bit before we add mascara. I'm gonna go in with the Mario Masters mascara and just coat the lashes, nothing crazy. And I'm gonna go ahead and finish the other eye. So we're gonna go in, we're gonna set the face, block the eyes. A HRUSH exclusive, the Dalba spray on the back of the sponge, and then just high point. One thing HRUSH is going to do is customize her lashes, so I just went ahead and customized some of my own. We're going to go ahead and put the lashes on. They are a very dramatic, like she would like. And you can see since we already tightlined, it looks really nice. While we're waiting for that to dry, I'm going to go ahead and do the lip. We're going to do a nude to further accentuate the contour we did earlier. Overlining the Cupid's bow, of course. You can see we're going just a little above that contour. And then you're just going to blend that out. Clean up the edge just a little bit. And then we're going to go in with the Peachy Nude to really tighten that blush. And this is the final look. I love how it came out. I think the HRUSH Flush is my favorite part. That blend on the blush just looks so good on me. If you stayed till the end, thank you so much. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I am so excited to start this series, and with this being my first video, I think it went so well. Let me know what artist you want to see in episode 2.